All right, guys. So, when my daughter asked me to go up to the Boston area for Christmas, I did some formulation of some plans of some things I would like to do. And one things I wanted to do was, I've been out to Long Island once, many years ago, gosh, over 20 years ago. Um, so we drove around a little bit back then. They didn't have any houses out where the farm was. So anyway, I the other part, of course, is my father's father, my grandfather, my grandmother. They lived out in Hempstead or East Meadow, somewhere out like that in Long Island. So I wanted to just drive around, just to look. So I know they used to have a farm out in the Hempstead area, but I don't know exactly where. But while I was looking, guess what I found? I found Rowell Drive. Now, it's not where the house was. I don't think so. But it's kind of fun to just go look and see a road that's named with your surname. And I found a Raymond Drive. So I thought I'd go see that. And so I know that the farm that we lived on when I was very young was on Hawkins Road. So I wanted to go down that. Now, Hawkins Road's been it's my father and his brothers sold that property years ago. I guess around 1960, something like that. So anyway, they sold it to a guy whose plan was to develop it sooner or later, and they have. So that's there. And so the only other thing was, there's other things I would have liked to look at, but you only have so much time. And so the other thing was to go find my sister's cemetery, just to visit with her for a few moments. So that's what this video is about, is visiting those streets, seeing those places again, just for a little fun. Okay, guys, guess where I am? I don't know exactly what the significance of Rowell Drive is, other than, of course, that's my last name. And I know that this basic area, I've came across an article about Levittown, which is just to the east, I believe. Basically, it was farmland that my grandfather owned, or his family, and they sold. And the results that you see around you are the houses built on that land. And so Levittown is basically because of my grandfather. But anyway, I'm here to just drive down Rowell Drive and see if I find anything. Okay, I don't know. So Bernice Drive and Grants. Court. I want to say these names sound vaguely familiar, but what do I know? I mean, hardly even knew them. Alright, maybe a weird thing to geek out about, but those of you who know me know why I'm geeking out. So here we are on the west end of Raymond Street, intersecting with Hempstead Avenue. I guess Hempstead Avenue's been here for a long time, so maybe Raymond has as well. Okay, what a bizarre coincidence. I'm here at the intersection with Hempstead, or close to it, and a FedEx driver pulled in right behind me, and he asked me if I lived at 11. I go, what? I said, no, I don't live here. Anyway, guess where I am? This is 11 Raymond Street. This should be my house. Okay, there you go, the east end of Raymond Street intersecting with Meadow Lane. It's just another typical suburb to me. No houses, there's some houses that are nice. And of course, there was 11 Raymond Street. That kind of like, wow, where am I? Anyway, I'm in a deep past that I wasn't even really part of, I don't think. Because I lived on a farm. But there you are. So I found an obituary for my sister, and it told me that the farm was on Hawkins or James Hawkins Road. So I know from that that's where it was. And when I've been up there once before visiting, I mean, I drove by on Montauk or whatever that highway is, and it's like there's a building there at the corner of James Hawkins. And as soon as I saw that building, it's like there's a flashback. Like, okay, I know where this is. And sure enough, yes, that's where it is. So anyway, I drove down the road, looked around. But this trip is going to be looking more in depth. Okay, you know the old saying, no matter how much things change, they stay the same. So this is Montauk Highway. I mean, I don't remember there being traffic lights here, but this building over here, although it's a different building I recall, when I came, the last time I was here, I was just driving down Montauk Highway, and I saw this building, and I had the feeling this is the right turn to go to where the farm was. So it's just stunning. So anyway, just a little drive into history, although the history is completely different than what what I had when I was a little kid. There you go. Oh, look at that. I didn't even see that sign down there. Welcome to Crystal Beach. No. It's welcome to Ray's place. Anyway, whatever. They bought it. It's theirs. Okay, so childhood memories aren't always what they seem. But then again, whatever. I don't know. So here we are, James Hawkins Road. Page Lane. Now, Page Lane was not here when we lived here. Page Lane, I believe, is the north end of the farm. So this would be James Hawkins. This looks vaguely. I remember there's a curve like this coming down to the house. I don't know if that's what it is or not, but it kind of looked that way. But interesting. Okay, this feels like it's not the very north end of the farm, but I see the road tracks from here. They were crossing guard. So I'm kind of wondering how far off am I? It's just so surreal. I remember the road tracks one time when I was walking home from the school bus stop. Yeah, my parents let me walk that far away. You don't let your kids walk that far nowadays. You mean at the bus stop or something. Anyway, I remember one day walking home, and the train was coming by, and I was close to the tracks, and I remember it was so loud it scared me. So anyway, I just it's all partially familiar at the same time. It's all different. So if I go down to the end here, I do see there's an older house to the right. So I remember there was a chicken farm down there. There's a couple of houses on the right side of the street here that look a little bit older. And I remember there was 2 houses in there. It's just the scale doesn't feel quite right, but I was a little kid back then. Anyway, whatever. And so this is the entrance here to the cemetery. It's just all so curious. Okay, so house number 52 is the beginning of this wooded area. I'm kind of wondering what this wooded area is. I think they had a retention pond in here or something. No, this is part of the cemetery. Okay, so there we go. So house 52 more or less offsets with where the cemetery is. I'll have to go back and look at the map and try to figure it out. It has been a long time. I don't know, is it possible this was the chicken farm? I don't know what you call it. Anyway, where you grew chickens? Because here they have a little shed that looks somewhat consistent with where you'd have chickens. And this house over here behind the trees looks a little bit older. So maybe this is the end of the road. And it is in the road, but maybe that's it. Is this an older house? I don't know. I remember there was 2 or 3 houses along this section of the road. I don't know, maybe. Maybe that'd be a house. That from when I was a kid. All right, so this picture I have of my sister. I found in the slides that my mother had, there was another picture related directly to this one, and it's where I'm playing around. My face is all dirty and stuff. Anyway, so this is my sister, and if you make out the head next to it, that's actually my next youngest brother, Keith. So between me and these two, that's the 3 oldest kids. Anyway, so I'm gonna go visit my sister's cemetery, which actually is kind of emotional to some extent, but I'm glad I was there. Okay, we're at the Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Moriches. And let's see, I'm right between I-8 and I-7, and actually right in between. If you're right in between, if you look up, 3rd row, there's her stone. Okay, here she is. This is my sister, Hope Jean, 58. My dad thought she was playing in the house, and actually she was playing under the truck or something like that. I don't know, the report said something about she was chasing after the truck, wanting to get in the truck. I don't know, it's so long ago and so confusing, I guess. And I'm the only one who knows about it anymore. But anyway, there's my sister.